Namaste. So today I'm going to read Book 11, Chapter 1, on what is to be thought of in the morning. The Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Vakratu Namaha Kaya Surya Koti Samapra. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narada said, O Bhagavan, O Thou the Eternal One, O Narayana, O Lord of the past and the future, Thou art the Creator and the Lord of all the beings that lived in the past and that will come into existence in the future. Thou hast described to me the highly wonderful and excellent anecdote of the exalted Devi, how she did assume the forms of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati and Brahmari for the fulfillment of the Devas' purposes, and how the Devas got back their possessions by the grace of the Devi. All you have described, O Lord, now I want to hear the rules of Sadachara, right way of living, the due observance of which by the devotees pleases the world mother. Kindly describe them. Narayana said, O knower of truth, now I am telling you those rules of the right way of living, which rightly observed always please Bhagavati. Listen first. I will talk of the Brahmins, how their welfare is secured, what the Brahmanas ought to do on getting up early in the morning from their bed. From the sunrise to the sunset, the Brahmanas should do all the daily and occasional duties, nitya and naimittik karmas. And they are to perform the optional works for some particular object, such as putrasti yajna, and other good works, not acts of black magic, as killing, causing pain and inconveniences to others, etc. It is the self alone and not the father, mother, etc., nor any other body that helps us on our way to that happiness in the next world. Father, mother, wife, sons, and others are helps merely to our happiness in this world. None of them are helpful to us in bettering our states in the next world. Deliverance of one's self depends verily on his own self. Therefore, one should always earn and store dharma, religion, and observe always there the right conduct to help one in the next world. If dharma be on our side, this endless sea of troubles can be safely crossed. The rules of right living as ordained by Manu in Srutis and Manusmritis are the principal dharmas. The Brahmanas should always be observant to their dharma as ordained in the Sastras, Sruti and Smriti. Follow the right conduct and then you will get life, prosperity and increase of happiness easily here and hereafter. By right conduct, food is obtained and sins are easily destroyed. The right conduct is the auspicious principal dharma of men. Persons of right living enjoy happiness in this world as well as in the next. Those who are veiled in darkness by ignorance and thus wildly enchanted can verily see their way to mukti if they follow the great light revealed to them by dharma and the right conduct. It is by sadachara that superiority is attained. Men of right conduct always do good deeds. From good deeds, knowledge comes. This is the advice of Manu. Right way of living is the best of all the dharmas and is great tapasya, asceticism. The knowledge comes from this right living. Everything is attained thereby. He who is devoid of sadachara is like a Sudra, even if he comes of a Brahmin family. There is no distinction. Whatsoever between him and a Sudra Right conduct is of two kinds, as dictated by the Sastras, as dictated by the popular custom, Laukika. Both these methods should be observed by him who wants welfare for himself. He is not to forsake one of them. O Muni, the village dharma, the dharma of one's own caste, the dharma of one's own family, and the dharma of one's own country, all should be observed by men. Never he is to do anything otherwise. With great loving devotion, that is to be preserved. Men who practice wrong ways of living are censored by the public. They always suffer from diseases, avoid wealth and desires that have no dharma in them. Why, if in the name of dharma, painful acts, example killing animals and sacrifices, are to be committed, those are blamed by the people, so never commit them. Avoid them by all means. Narada said, O Muni, the Sastras are not one, they are many, and they laid down different rules and contradictory opinions. How then dharma is to be followed, and according what Dharma Sastra, Narayana said, Sruti and Smriti are the two eyes of God. The Puranam is his heart. Whatever is stated in Sruti and Smriti and the Puranams is dharma. Whatever else is written in of the Sastras is not dharma. Where you will find differences between Shruti, Smriti and Puranas, accept the words of the Srutis as final proofs. Wherever Smriti disagrees with the Puranas, know the Smritis more authoritative. And where differences will crop up in the Shrutis themselves, know that dharma too is of two kinds. And where the differences will crop up in the Smritis themselves, consider then that different things are aimed at. In some Puranas, the dharma of the Tantras is duly described, but of these which go against the Vedas, they are not to be accepted any means. Tantra is accepted as the authoritative proof then, and then only when it contradicts not the Vedas. Whatever goes clearly against the Vedas can in no way be accepted as a proof. In matters concerning dharma, the Vedas is the sole proof. Therefore, that which is not against the Vedas can be taken as proof, otherwise not. Whoever acts dharma according to other proofs than what is ordained in the Vedas goes to the hell in the abode of Yama to get his lesson. So the dharma that is by all means is to be accepted as such, also as authoritative when they are not conflicting the two Vedas. Any other Sastras can be taken as authoritative when it is fundamentally coincident with the Vedas, else it can never be accepted. Those who do injury to others, even by the blade of a kusa grass used as a weapon, go to hell, with their heads downwards and their feet upwards. Those that follow their own sweet free will take that up any sort of dress, example, Bhaudas. Those that follow the philosophical doctrines called Pasupatas, and the other hermits and saints and persons that take up other vows contrary to the religions of the Vedas, for example, the Vaikanasa followers, those who brand their bodies by the hot mudras at the places of pilgrimages, example Dwarka, example, etc., they go to hell with their bodies scorched by red-hot brands, tapta mudras. So persons should act according to the excellent religions commanded by the Vedas every day, he should get up from his bed early in the morning and think thus: what good acts have I done? What have I given as charities? Or what I advise others to do charities? What greater sins, Maha, and what smaller sins have I committed? At the last quarter of the night, he should think of Parabrahma. He should place his right leg on his left thigh and his left on his right thigh, crosswise, keeping his head straight up and touching the breast with his chin and closing his eyes. He should sit steadily so that his upper teeth should not touch the lower jaw. He should join his tongue with his palate, and he should sit quiet, restraining his senses. He should be Suddha Sattva. His seat should not be very low. First of all, he should practice pranayama twice or thrice, and within his heart he should meditate the self of the shape of the holy flame or the holy light. Om Mani Padme Hum. He should fix his heart for a certain time to the luminous self whose eyes are everywhere. So the intelligent man should practice dharana. Pranayama is of 6 kinds. 1. Sadhuma. When the breaths are not steady. Nirdhuma. Better than the sadhuma. 3rd, Sagarbha, when united with one's mantra. Agarbha, when the practice is without the thought of any mantra. Salaksya, when the heart is fixed on one's deity. And 6, Alaksya, when the heart is not fixed on one's deity. No yoga can be compared with pranayama. This is equal to itself. Nothing can be its equal. This pranayama is of 3 kinds, called Richaka, Puraka, and Kumbhaka. The pranayama consists of 3 letters, A-U-M, i.e., of the nature of Aum, or, in other words, the letter A of the pranava Om indicates Puraka. The letter U denotes Kumhaka, and the letter M denotes Richaka. By the Ida, Nida, by the left nostril, inhale as long as you count A, Vishnu, 32 times. Then without breath, i.e. do Kumbhaka as long as you count U, Siva, 64 times, and by the Pingala Nadi, the right nostril, do the Rechaka, i.e. exhale the breath as long as you count M, Brahma, for 16 times. O Muni, thus I have spoken to you of the Sadhuma Pranayama. After doing the pranayama as stated above, pierce the 6 chakras, i.e. plexuses, called Satakra Bheda, and carry the Kula Kundalini to the Brahma Randra, the brain aperture, or to the 1,000-petal lotus in the head, and meditate in the heart the self like a steady flame. The nadis are not those which are known to the Vedya or the medical sastras. The latter are the gross physical nerves. The nadis here are the yuga nadis, the subtle channels, vivaras, along which the pranic currents flow. Now the process of piercing the 6 chakras, the nerve centers, or centers of moving pranic forces, is being described within this body. the 6 nerve centers called Padmas, lotuses, exist. They are respectively situated at the Muladhara, halfway between anus and Linga Mula, called the sacral plexus, Linga Mula, the root of the genital organs, called prostatic plexus. This is also called Svadhisthana. 3. Navel, the solar plexus. 4. Heart, the cardiac plexus. 5. Throat. 6. Forehead, between the eyebrows. There, the lotus in the forehead, called the cavernous plexus. Ajna chakra has 2 petals. In these 2 petals, the 2 letters Ham, Ksham exist in the right hand direction, with the bands of the watch going round from left to right, keeping the right side towards one, circumambulated as a mark of respect. I bow down to these, which are the 2-lettered Brahma. The lotus that exists in the throat, laryngeal or pharyngeal plexus, has 16 petals, Vishuddha chakra. In these are in due order in right hand direction the 16 letters vowels A, I, U, Ri, Ri, Iri, Iri, I, A, O, Au, A. I bow down to these, which are the 16-lettered Brahma. The lotus that exists in the heart, the cardiac plexus, Anahata chakra, has 12 petals, wherein are the 12 letters K, K, G, G, N, Ch, J, J, N, T, T. I bow to these 12-lettered Brahma. The solar plexus forms the great junction of the right and left sympathetic chains, Ida and Pingala, with the cerebrospinal axis. The lotus that exists in the navel, called the solar plexus or epigastric plexus. Manipura chakra has 10 petals, wherein are the 10 letters D, D, N, T, T, D, D, N, P, P, counting in the right hand direction, that is clockwise, and the action of this clock is vertical in the plane of the spinal cord. Also, it may be horizontal. The lotus that exists at the root of the genital organ, the genital plexus or prostatic plexus, has 6 petals. The petals are the configurations made by the position of nadis at any particular center. Svadhisthana chakra or Swayambhu Linga, wherein are situated the 6 letters B, B, M, Y, R, L, L. I bow down to these 6-lettered Brahma. These are the Laya centers. The lotus that exists in the Muladhara, called the sacral or sacrocogial plexus, has 4 petals, wherein are the 4 letters V, S, V, S, S, S. I bow down to these 4-lettered Brahma in the above 6 nerve centers or Laya centers or lotuses. All the letters are situated in the right hand direction clockwise. Note all the nerves of the body combine themselves in these 6 nerve centers or Laya centers. Each of these centers is spheroidal and is of the 4th dimension. At each center, many transitions take place. Many visions take place. Many forces are perceived and wonderful varieties of knowledge are experienced. These are called the laya centers, for many things vanish into non-existence and many new tattvas are experienced. Thus, meditating on the 6 chakras or plexuses, meditate on the Kula Kundalini, the serpent fire. She resides on the 4-petaled lotus, center of Shakti, called Muladhara Chakra. Coaxial plexus. She is of Rajaguna, she is of a blood red color, and she is expressed by the mantra Hreem, which is the Maya Vija. She is subtle as the thread of the fibrous stalk of the water lily. The sun is her face, fire is her breast. He attains Jivan Mukti, liberation while living, within whose heart such as Kula Kundalini arises and awakens even once. Thus, meditating on Kula Kundalini, one should pray to her, her sitting, coming, going, remaining, the thought on her, the realization of her, and chanting hymns to her, etc. All are mine, who is of the nature of all in all. I am that Bhagavati, O Bhagavati, all my acts are thy worship. I am the Devi, I am Brahma, I am free from sorrow, I am of the nature of everlasting existence, intelligence, and bliss. Thus one should meditate of one's own self. I take refuge of that Kula Kundalini, who appears like lightning and who holds the current thereof. When going to Brahmarandra in the brain, who appears like nectar when coming back from the brain to the Muladhara, and who travels in the Susumna Nadi in the spinal cord, then one is to meditate on one's own Guru, who is thought of as one with God, as seated in one's brain, and then worship him mentally. Then the sadhaka, controlling himself, is to recite the following mantra. The Guru is Brahma, the Guru is Vishnu. It is the Guru again that is the Deva Maheshwara. It is the Guru that is the Parabrahma. I bow down to that Sri Guru. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Venama. Here ends the first chapter of the 11th book on what is to be thought of in the morning in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Ved Vyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Palindruga Kashma Shivatani Swasmi. Om Chitom Devi Chaman Shapatari. Om Tuya Mata Chabita Tuya